Strap yourself in for Keeping It Real with Jac Ral.
All right, off you go. Go on. Don't let me stomp on your feet.
I was going to do the intro.
Of course you were.
Okay, welcome back, keepers, to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jac and Ral. I am Gabrielle Dolan and you are
Jac Phillips.
Jac Phillips. Jac is so excited to get into part 2 of the 8 traits of high performers.
What a great segue.
Not even a segue, it's an introduction.
Well,
to
the fifth
right.
trait.
The 5th trait. So do we just go through the 4, the recap?
Fair call. 8 traits of high performers as identified by Jac Phillips. Grit is the first.
Yep.
Relentless resourcefulness is the second. Having optimism is the third. And constantly learning and seeing every opportunity to constantly learn is the fourth. The fifth is not being a dickhead.
Right.
And I'm not looking at you as I say that.
They were sounding all formal. Grit, optimism, resourcefulness. Don't be a dickhead.
So this is actually about emotional intelligence. But I prefer don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
And every now and again, do you give yourself a bit of a talking to? I do.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, I do. Because now and again I will say something and I'll think that was unnecessary.
Well, I think I do that when I go, come on, you sound like a wanker.
Yeah. It's good if you're doing that. That means that you're self-aware or you are self-checking, self-regulating.
Yeah.
It might be after the effect.
I've been into a company, and I forget which company it was, and they have 2 values.
Yep.
They only have 2 values.
Nice.
No dickheads, no princesses.
Yeah. Again, coming back to those people that would never admit they're pessimist, do you think anyone ever admits that they're a dick or a princess?
I've heard some people go, I'm a princess.
Well, we
know that.
I suppose I've answered my own question because
Maybe.
we're both saying to ourselves regularly, don't be a wanker or don't be a dick.
Yeah.
So I suppose what it does, it
but
helps.
you know what? When you see people and when we say dickhead or dick, it's gender neutral. We're
Yep.
talking about here.
Yep.
Everyone knows people that you just go, they're just a dickhead.
So-
but they wouldn't know they're a dickhead.
Okay, well, okay, keepers, here's a way to tell if you're a dickhead. If you don't show empathy, if you don't collaborate well, if you don't treat others with respect and generally be a kind and good human, then nobody will want you in their orbit. So if you are somebody that people are pulling away from, or you find it hard to make friends or to have a tribe around you, you might want to hold up a mirror.
Mm.
Now, you
that could happen because of other reasons.
okay,
But, you know,
such as?
well, you know, some people are quite neurodiverse and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want people listening to this and think I don't have a lot of friends that automatically thinks they're a dickhead.
No. Okay, fair call. But what they might do is actually just do a quick self-assessment. Do I show empathy? Do I collaborate well? Do I treat others with respect? And am I generally a kind and good human?
Yes.
If they can answer yes to the majority of those things
Yes.
and they haven't got people in their orbit, well, then that's something else clearly. And, but I think it's a fairly good assessment to do on a regular basis. Now, you and I both started this episode saying we regularly self-check because we all have the ability and will always have the ability to be a dick.
Yeah. You know what I think some people who would say, I'm not being a dickhead. I'm just, I just like to challenge people.
I like to just say it how it is.
And it's sort of like they're doing it deliberately just to take the opposite point.
Yeah.
But not just like why?
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 Yeah.
You're not
They need
actually adding
attention.
value.
No, they need attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one, but I hear what you're saying. This whole showing empathy and the number of people that say to me, "Oh, I know empathy. I'm very empathetic." It isn't crying with somebody. It's actually trying to understand how they might feel.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you probably could cry with somebody if you are being empathetic in that you're trying to understand how they feel. But it's not putting your lens on it.
No.
It's actually putting yourself in their situation and just trying to understand how they feel. And I say trying to understand because I don't know about you, but there are certain things we will never understand until it happens to us, right?
Absolutely.
But what you can do is show empathy.
Yeah.
You can say, well, okay, that's how you're feeling. I'm trying to imagine that. I can't imagine it, but I can sit with you in it, or I can be kind to you because of that.
Well,
So-
wasn't the very original definition of empathy is like, walk in someone else's shoes.
yeah.
So it's sort of,
Yeah, same thing.
what it'd be like for them.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Collaborating well. So not being a dickhead means the ability to collaborate well.
Mm.
Now, a lot of people won't tie collaboration well with not being a dick,
No,
but
I
I
was
have
just thinking
joined
there, is
that purposefully.
Chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
Like, is it because you're a dickhead you can't collaborate?
Or is it that you don't collaborate well because you are a dick? Yes, people don't want, or people
God.
don't want to collaborate with you.
Answering all the tough questions right here on Keeping It Real with Jac and Ral.
But there's another assessment, yeah. So do people want to work with you and collaborate with you and bring you into teams and share information and have your expertise leveraged? And if the answer is no, not much, then maybe ask why not. Yeah. So go and seek feedback. Or if you are somebody who wants to collaborate with somebody and you can see that they're going to be a problem, what could you say to them? How could you help them recognise that maybe some of their behaviours means they're being a dick and therefore you don't want to collaborate with them?
Yeah.
How would you give that
Because
feedback? Ra?
that's I think that would be useful, like, people listening to this. I would imagine none of our keepers are dickheads, but of
course
it's
they're
like
not,
how
they're
you have that
keepers.
conversation with a dickhead.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I'm just thinking in the past how when I'm thinking people like that, it's almost saying, how is that useful? Or what do you want me to do with that?
Yeah.
Or and sometimes I use humour, and it was like,
Always.
I always
works.
go,
Humour's
are
good.
you always this
happy?
difficult? Or is it just because
Today.
it's pointing out?
Yeah.
And so do it as a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
It was like, and they're going, and they'll go, oh, I'm not being difficult.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. You think you're being difficult?
I love that. And I think humour is the shortest distance between two people. However, I'm imagining one of our keepers having to maybe have this conversation with somebody who's more senior who may intimidate them. Okay.
Right,
So
well,
they
there's
may
a tough call.
They may not know how to use humour or feel that that's not appropriate. So the best way to manage that is to actually say, can you help me understand why you do that? Or can you help me understand why you said that?
Yeah.
I'm struggling to see how that works for me or works in this situation.
That's a good approach because
what you're wanting to do is to actually, it's appreciative inquiry, it's applying curiosity and it's asking them to give you more information. Most people, Ral, do not communicate well.
No.
They do not communicate well. We assume people know what we mean. We assume people understand where we're coming from when in actual fact they don't.
there's a great quote from George Bernard Shaw. And he said the biggest problem with communication is the illusion it's taking place.
Very true. Very, very true. Yeah. And most people over-communicate, which means your key message is diluted. That's often because they actually don't know what they're saying or they haven't thought it through. However, let's not get off not being a dick. So if you don't show empathy,
let's not
collaborate
get
well,
off track. It's so unlike us.
treat others with respect and generally be a kind, generous and good human, then nobody will want you in their orbit. So one of the high traits I see, one of the 8 traits I see in high performers is their ability to be self-aware and recognise if they're being a dick and to self-regulate really quickly.
Yeah.
And self-right themselves, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one.
Number
you
6.
like this one.
Ba-da-ba-bow. Drum roll.
Fun to be around.
Fun to be around.
Those who have a sense of humour, positive energy, a lightness and playfulness lose the bloody intensity, lose the, oh my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. You'll never guess. Stand it. Make a world of difference to their environments. People who are light, now you can still be smart and have substance and be strategic, but be lighthearted, be playful, use humour, have fun. Everyone wants to be around people like that.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's enough awful stuff in the world. The media's full of awful stuff.
Yeah.
Dreadful negativity and awful news.
Don't add to that.
Don't add to it. Be fun to be around. Now, do you know people without a sense of humour?
Oh, shit, yeah. I was just actually thinking of the other day I was at gym and, there was all the benches out and it was a gym class.
Yep.
And, someone came and put the towel down to mind a few benches.
Oh, yes.
Like sometimes,
Hold them.
if your mate's going, oh, mind you a seat. She didn't realise that someone else had put like something near the bench. And this woman came in and she just sort of said, oh, if there's a towel there, it means it's taken. and I couldn't see her face, and I thought, like, we know this person.
Yeah.
Like, I thought she was being funny.
Yeah. Joking.
And then I realised
She was being
she was being serious, and she'd like really cracked the shits. And it
Right,
was
took
like,
it quite personally.
there's another thing right there 2 feet in front of you
That you could use,
that you
that's
could
available.
use. And then they go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. Well, you can have this one. Oh, no, it's fine. But went on and on.
Get over yourself.
And that's what I was thinking. It was like, oh,
Really?
get over yourself.
This is something you're
like
going to have an issue with?
This is you got an issue with. Like,
Wow.
and that's like, can't imagine them having a sense of humour.
No. Well, maybe they do have a sense of humour, but it's a
I
bit
don't
warped.
think so.
But that's about being intense. That's not somebody you want to be
You
around.
know what that's been? A dickhead.
That's being a dick. You're exactly right. That's trait number 6. Yeah, true. Yep. So being fun to be around. Okay, so when I have been in intense situations where, people are behaving in a way that is not playful, it's not lighthearted, it's not using humour, I have absolutely called it really quickly.
Right, okay.
And I'm thinking of a situation not that long ago, actually, where somebody was having a little meltdown over something pathetic because it was inconvenient to them. And I just said, really? It's like you're on the Gaza Strip.
Yeah.
And I saw their face change.
Yeah.
I think they were a bit horrified I called it out. I think they were horrified I used Gaza Strip as a analogy. But they immediately lost the intensity.
Mm.
And it was a relief. And we needed to spend the next few hours together. So that made it better.
Yeah.
Now,
you
I'm
did
lucky
for a
that
while.
person, well, am I lucky? I don't know. Took it well. What could have happened? I suppose they could have stomped off, but that wouldn't have served them very well because they needed to be in the room and doing what we were doing. So it's important. Call it out,
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Don't be afraid to say to people, let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's be a bit lighter here.
Sometimes
not
I
take
say when
ourselves so
people
seriously.
are whinging, I just got to go, well, you know what? If that's the worst thing that happens to you today,
Yeah.
probably a good day.
That's so good.
Like, just-
such a good reminder.
Yeah.
Such a good reminder.
It's again, perspective.
That's right.
And, we're not talking about being, you don't have to be the stand-up comedian and the office clown or the class clown, although
Like we
I've been
were and
accused
are.
several times of being the class clown
Me
and
too.
office clown. But you know what? Even when I have a meeting with clients or potential clients, if we haven't had a laugh, like I
Oh,
just, and I know
Awful.
for them especially, they're probably just going meeting to meeting to
Awful.
meeting. I at least want the meeting they have with me to be fun.
absolutely.
Just be fun.
Interviewing and being interviewed is a classic example of intensity, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone's polished, everyone's professional, everyone, and some people love the power of being the interviewer, right?
Yeah.
I know these people, it shits me. I mean, really, that's where you get your power from? Somebody really wants a job, so they're and you're using your interviewing as a power play.
And not realising
I
that
will
the person
always-
opposite the table is probably really nervous.
Oh,
and
very
acknowledging that.
nervous and is a human being with emotions. The first thing I do is absolutely crack a joke or lighten the scenario.
Yeah.
Either being interviewed or the interviewer.
Yes.
Yeah. I've done that and I will always continue to do that. And I also do that in the chemistry sessions I have when I'm actually talking to somebody who I might go on to coach because I'm assessing them as much as they're assessing me. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
If they are so intense and I realise they might be nervous, I realise they might be going through a difficult situation, but if they can't lighten up with my help in that chemistry session, that is not somebody I want to coach.
God. If they
Because
can't,
I'm imagining
yes, if they can't lighten up with your help,
something's
God
awfully
help
wrong.
them. God help them.
Exactly right. So fun to be around. It is a trait I want to see in high performers. It is a trait I do see in high performers. They are able to bring perspective, lighten something, be playful, and people want to be around them.
Yeah.
I mean, a high performer needs others to help them achieve what they need to achieve. So you want to be fun to be around.
Number 7.
You like this one. This is you. This is me too. I'm going to call it growth mindset, okay? So yes, it is related to constant learning, but the difference is recognizing you do not know it all and that intelligence should and can be developed. Yeah? It will help you unlock your potential if you go and do a course on AI. If you say, actually, I want to take my coaching to the next level and I'm going to go and learn X. Actually, I'm going to surround myself with people that I wouldn't normally be in a room with because they're going to teach me something. This openness to recognizing you do not know it all, or what you do know may not be right. Or there might be other alternatives to what you do know, yeah? So it's very much seeing everything as a growth opportunity,
Yeah.
including challenge,
Yep.
which we've spoken about before.
I think, that definitely like almost deliberately challenging yourself
Yes,
as well.
intentionally.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the future holds, right?
No.
So how do we prepare for it? Well, we start to identify what we think might be useful in the future.
Yep.
We start to look at insights. We start to look at audiences. We start to look at behaviors. I know right now, and this is something I am absolutely delving into so deeply, I need to talk to you about this more too, that the future leaders are not the leaders of yesterday.
So agree.
Somebody said to me, I think I might go and do an MBA. That'll help me get on a board. I said, what? Whoa. In fact, they said, I think I might go and do an MBA. I said, why? I'm not saying don't, but why? Oh, because I want to get on boards.
Yeah.
And I said, you want to get on board, so why do you think doing an MBA will help? Oh, well, that's what everyone has done or needs to do. An MBA is teaching you about how to manage in the past, actually, unless it's the latest MBA and they're already talking about what future leaders need to know and they're teaching that, then be very careful about taking on old models of leadership.
Yeah. Well, its very nature. They're probably doing it part-time because they're working, so it'll be 5 years.
And what's going to change between now and 5 years?
Yeah.
Be very careful, people, about not having a growth mindset, and get around people that are looking into the future. Get around people that are studying AI and studying AI is one example. There's the more artificial intelligence comes into our life, the more real emotional intelligence is needed, actually, and the more those soft skills we need to call on.
Yeah,
but leaders of the future,
the more story intelligence,
storytelling. It's a trait of high performance.
Just little plugs for the new book, but don't worry. We will
remind me the title of your new book.
Story Intelligence.
Love it. Story Intelligence.
Well, and it's bringing in Story Intelligence, the craft of authentic storytelling made smarter with AI. But anyway,
I like it.
We will do an episode on that, I'm sure, at one point.
So
the book's not due to end of year in November.
Can't wait to get it. I'm in the book, aren't I?
Of course you're in the book.
Just checking.
I had to put you in the book or else,
I wouldn't promote it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let you.
You would cry. She would cry.
I've been in most of your books.
You have.
People must be getting bored.
Yeah, I think so.
You better get some new talent for the next one. You talk about lots of great people in your books. Okay, growth mindset. Yeah, if you embrace challenges as growth opportunities and believe abilities and intelligence can be developed, then delivered, then you help unlock potential. So recognizing in all things, in all people, in all process, you can help see the future if you have a growth mindset.
Yeah.
So talking to my kids, oh my goodness, I learn so much. I've got a cleaner. I've got to tell you, I've hired a cleaner. She comes to the farm.
You've hired a cleaner?
You've
never had a cleaner before?
Well, yes, I have. I've had cleaners plenty of times before, and I've had bloody domestic help in Asia, which was a game changer, but we won't go there. But I only just recently got a cleaner at the farm because it's not easy to find people in the country.
Right.
But this one, I begged, borrowed and stole her. And, I have chats to her and I learn stuff.
Good.
And I'd like to think maybe she learned something from me too.
Learn how to dust?
I want to learn how to dust. I know how to dust. So a growth mindset, right? Okay, we're coming up to the 8th and the final trait of high performance.
Which is?
Take responsibility.
I
said that
love
like
it.
a Kiwi. Those who take ownership of their work, their duties and their promises. They care about doing a good job and they instill confidence in others. I try to take responsibility every single hour of every single day for stuff. Even when things go wrong that I don't believe I had anything to do with, I do ask myself, what responsibility should I take in this situation? What could I have done differently or better? Did I not explain it well, et cetera, et cetera? Do you know people who don't take responsibility?
Well, I know people that do and don't. So just when you were talking about that, I remember working with a CEO in a company in Vietnam. He was an American guy.
Cool.
And I interviewed him like he was in one of my previous books, but I spent a bit of time with him. And he said that the thing that transformed his leadership the most was taking responsibility.
Wow.
And so every time something went wrong, even though he would initially think this was not my fault.
Not on me.
He would say as CEO, what did I do to contribute that?
Yeah.
And he, once you do that, it was like, well, it wasn't communicated properly.
Yeah.
we didn't have a process in place that, it was a mistake made, but why didn't we have a process in place that stopped that mistake? And we go, of course you can't. There's going to be human error and stuff like that. But every single time he would go into a conversation with an employee that, had potentially made the mistake.
Good leader.
But he would go, what did you need from me to, and he would always think about how I contributed to that. I was I was out at a cafe recently, and I was having coffee with my friend, and she knew the owner of the restaurant, and it was sort of just opened. It was really bad. It wasn't bad service. It was unprofessional service, and because it was a cafe, all the people serving us were probably 16, 17-year-old kids, right? Probably the first time they've done it. And you could just go, it was just things weren't in place. Like, they would come and we'd sat there and someone took our coffee order. So we did. Then someone else came and said, do you already order coffee? I was like, oh, we've already ordered coffee. And then, then they took our food order, but didn't take the menus away. So then someone else came and said, and they brought the meal and they go, would you like cutlery? It was like,
all a bit disorganized.
But then the owner, he came out, and my friend said, oh, how's it all going? Because, he'd only opened it recently, and he said, oh, I've got a lot of issues. And she went, oh, well, with? And he said, with the chef and the frontline staff. And it was just like, the frontline staff are not the issue. No. You haven't trained them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And he walked away, and I just went to my friend, oh, my God.
No responsibility.
There's no response. So he was going to go in to have a conversation, literally telling off the frontline staff. Well, you haven't even trained them.
No, and you're not taking responsibility.
You're not taking responsibility. So it'd be behavior. Like, why was that service clunky?
Yeah.
Because there was no process in place or no system in place.
That's right, or no training in place or no reminders in place.
I just walked away and went, imagine working for someone like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a lot of people like that, yeah.
Yes.
So, I hear this daily, woe is me. This always happens to me.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I just can't get the job. Whatever it might be, that's not actually a very good example. But you actually have to take responsibility. Okay, so if something isn't working, why not? And if you really sincerely believe you have nothing to do with it, then ask yourself this question: what can I take from this situation? What can I learn from this opportunity? Because then you can take responsibility.
Yeah.
So it's a really important one.
I think even if you're having a conversation with someone and they get upset with you, right? Like even if you're a friend or whatever and they got, pissed off with you, it's really easy to go, God, freaking just relax. I don't know why you got so pissed off. To go, well what did, maybe it was the way it was said. Maybe.
Of course that.
But at least ask the question.
Absolutely, which is take responsibility.
If you ask a question and it might be, well, no, it was you didn't have anything to do with it, but the reality is you've had something to do with it.
Absolutely. We did a podcast on victim. Don't be the victim, and I told you about Dolly made me do it. Remember her?
Yeah.
We nicknamed her Dolly.
Yeah.
Because everything was a problem and never her. Yet it was all her whinging and moaning about what was happening to her. Dolly made me do it. I'm thinking of some of the greatest PR wins are when a leader steps forward and says, I take full responsibility.
Yeah.
For something that was well down their chain of command.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the buck stops with them.
Yep.
I'm also thinking of major PR disasters where a major leader says, that wasn't me, that I'm blaming everybody else.
Yeah.
So taking responsibility is an absolute game changer as a leader. There's no doubt about it. And it's a perfect 8th trait to finish on.
Yeah. And can I just say, not even a leader.
Well,
just
anybody.
A person.
Well, that's very true.
But we're all leaders. What did I do to contribute to that is a very good question to be asking yourself.
Absolutely. And if you don't feel that you did anything to contribute to it, what
ask
could you
yourself
learn
again
from it? Ask yourself again and then ask a different question, what can I learn from it? So the 8 traits of high performers, Ral, read them out, please.
Let's go. Okay, so the first one is grit. The second one is relentless resourcefulness.
Well done.
Optimism is the third. Constant learning is the fourth. And remember, if you haven't checked out our 3-day immersion at Milawa at the King Valley region in October 23rd to 25th, then check out the show notes or contact us. We'll send you a brochure. because you'll be constantly learning then, and you will leave with optimism and grit and relentless resourcefulness. And you certainly won't be a dickhead, because that's
We
number
won't
5.
let you.
We won't let you not being a dickhead.
But we don't have dickheads. Keepers aren't dickheads.
Keepers aren't dickheads. Be a keeper. Number 6 is fun. Like, be fun to be around. But, like, be one of those people where you've spent time with them and you go, I enjoyed that. Or,
I want to be around them again.
I want to be around them again.
I
Growth
want to do something
mindset
with
is
them.
number 7. So constantly looking about how you can grow and be open
And
to
unlock
things.
potential, yourself and others.
And the final one is take responsibility. Now, as we've said, discussing all them, there's overlap between some, but from Jac's extensive career in leadership and in executive coaching.
And analysing my wonderful clients.
Yes, she has seen these are the common traits, the 8 traits of high performers. So we hope that has been of value. If you'd like to really be a high performer, you might want to check out Patreon, where we have we do masterclasses, bonus episodes. All the details. Look in the link and you can find stuff. But if you can support us, we can provide some unbelievably extra content and value.
We provide value
to you. We do provide value.
We're not a dickhead. We've got grit. We're definitely resourceful.
And we're fun.
We're optimistic. We're constantly learning. We're fun to be around. We have a growth mindset. And we're about to wrap up this episode.
And we're so perfect and humble.
So not.
Okay, keepers, thanks for that. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jac Ral. If you like what you've heard, don't forget to tell others about it and give a 5-star review. They may seem confident, but they really are sensitive 5-star needy souls. Yeah, right. Keeping It Real, created by Jack Phillips and Gabriel Dolan. Produced by Keehlan Ferrari-Brown. And this really real voiceover, spoken by Richard Phillips.